Well, since I guess video tutorials are the best way to show people how to do things, then I'm going to show you how to make a parry in FighterMaker 2nd today. First thing you want to do is go to your forward skill and grab the first image out of your walking animation. I usually have mine set up to an 8 on weight on every image, but instead of doing that, I have my first one set to 7. Reason why is because down here we have a new skill called Parry Start. As you can see, I have the same image from my forward skill set to 1. This will help make it where you don't see idling when you start walking forward, and it will basically make it where you won't even notice that you're doing an extra skill when pressing forward. Now, this is simple defense frame, basically the same one I probably have on my forward skill. Now, we have a detect skill set to attacking, and then set to frame 6, which is right here, this variable right here. Then we have an attack frame. This attack frame is to show whether or not, to show and or detect whether or not something is near Ryu. So whenever a punch comes near him or a projectile, if I press forward, he will parry, which is in my commands tab. I'll get to that later. Now we got our movement, which is exactly the same as in my forward skill. I just copied it in. Yours may be different. And then we have an SG to skip over the variable here. This is so you're not going to be doing it even when you're far away. You must be near somebody. Now we have just the image again. Now we got system variable D, it's the same, set to 1, and it points to the skill below this called parried attack. And I have an FD set to collide, which will make it where I won't get damaged by the attack coming at me. And then we have a variable, system variable D, replace 2, meaning that the parry has happened. In our image from the animation I'm using, and then we have EB, which will make a simple flash on screen. Then the common sound from Capcom vs SNK2. Hope you heard the sound, it was probably a little loud. But anyway, then we have our player stop. I have it set to 20 and 10. You could set it differently if you want to, but I found that that's probably the best one to use. And I have another FD set to collide just in case I need to have that. Probably not needed, but I'm just doing it anyway to go with the form of how the sprite looks. I have weight set to 20 on that. Then the EB again to cancel the flash. And then we have our system variable D replaced to 0 to turn everything off. Now, the fun part is getting the timing set up right. I have mine set up before the attack happens. And I have system variable D replace 1. With the doing, that's ghosting my actual punch. This will help the detection of whether or not somebody is near me, so I can parry their attack. And then after the attack, I will turn off my variable. You do this on all other attacks you plan to have a parry happen or occur. Same as this punch. And I turn my variable off. On here, off here. And same for kick 1. I'm only showing standing skills because that's probably where mostly all the parrying is going to happen. And then same for this. That attack frame's probably a little too small, but I can go back and fix it later. Just like to point that out. And then we have that all set up. And we go to projectiles. We go up here to our Hadouken. And we have our variable already set when the attack happens, or when the fireball has been thrown. Do this the same way for all other projectiles, for all other characters. Then I use system variable D. It's the same too, pointing to my hits skill for when the Hadouken actually hits. Points to this. Just like to take note, you will need to cancel the attack frame and also the doing of the same projectile. So whenever you do a parry, the attack frame's not going to exist and you start walking forward and get hit by an invisible attack. That happened to me before and it kind of confused me back when I was working on this about an hour ago. And then we have our command. And I have my command set up to 5, pointing to my parry start on both stand and far. And then the dot, and then forward. You must have the dot and forward. If you don't have it like this, if you press forward, you're just going to sit there and do the parry start over and over again. And that's pretty much it. Pretty much how you set it up. And I'm going to see if I can't demo it for you within the engine. Till he punches. That's one. I didn't get that one. There we go. And now a Hadouken. And there we go. That's pretty much it. Pretty much working perfectly. Just showing that, yeah, I can still be punched even though I'm walking forward or attacked. And there you go. There you have it. That's how you make a parry. That's pretty much how it should be done. That's everything that can be done with FighterMaker. Probably will involve the command skill. Most people like to try and use different ways, but I find it best to try things this way first, just to tricks other skills that you're going to be using. But that's pretty much how you set up everything. If you would like another tutorial on anything else, let me know, or want me to try and make something that y'all having trouble with. I mean, I can always sit down on one of my off days and try and do these things. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I hope it helped.